Welcome back to this week's episode of Mystery Garage. In today's episode, we take the Supercharged VR6 and we go drag racing. Let's jump into it. Hey, welcome back to the Mystery Garage. I know you can see behind me, we got the VR6 in the trailer. Probably haven't seen this trailer before, but I've mentioned it in a couple episodes in the past that my son and I, we do a little bit of dirt racing in the summertime, and unfortunately because of COVID, we haven't been able to cross the border. We race in the Pacific Northwest of the US, but we live in Canada, so we normally cross the border to go racing. But this year we haven't been able to do anything. Last year, same thing. So we've kind of converted the trailer temporarily into being our drag racing trailer, and who knows, maybe this might stick out to be a Mystery Garage trailer for the future. But as you can see, we're all packed up. I got lots of racing stuff in the trailer, so let me give you a quick walkthrough what we got going on in here. So as you can see here, our trailer is a 20-foot, and it actually fits the Rabbit really well. Up in the front, got some toolboxes all set up with the tools. We usually have at the dirt track, mostly because we are so far away from home. We go well prepared for a race night, make sure if we have any breakdowns. Unfortunately, currently this box is entirely full of spares for my son's race car, so there's nothing tool related in there, but those two boxes right there have the tools that we need for the racetrack. Also bringing some tires along with us. These are the drag slicks. I usually bring an air compressor in the back there, got some jacks, my helmet, and some clothes to wear for later on. Some power, because if we don't have track power, I have a little generator we can stay powered up. Over here we got the fuel we need. I usually run some high octane in those, but for our dirt racing purposes we run methanol in there, but I've emptied them out for tonight. And got some seats back there. Other than that, we got some front axles for my son's car, rear axles for my son's car, and some of his aluminum rims that don't have tires on them right now up on the tire rack, but all of his spares and stuff are in storage for now. So we've commandeered this trailer for today's racing purposes. We're gonna see how it goes. I got a little bit of fluids and stuff up there. A long time ago I bought this trailer really inexpensively, and I was actually the one who set this up. I painted the walls, painted the floor, put some matting up front where we work. I actually put these toolboxes in. I think I got them from Home Depot, the Husky boxes from Home Depot quite a long time ago. Hung that up there. Did some wiring, so this has a whole bunch of plugs, some lighting, as well as I hung some Costco lighting inside the trailer, put some plugs out back, and actually started a sound system, which I never ended up finishing quite yet, but I do have the parts for it. So if we start using this for racing a little bit more often in Mission, I'll probably set it up for a bit of a stereo system. But that's kind of a walk through the trailer, nothing too crazy. It's just a 20-foot by 8.5 or 9 foot, I think. Needs a bit of a wash. It's been outside being stored for quite some time, but anyway, we are ready to go racing. Everything's loaded up. I'm a little bit of an over packer just because I don't want to run into a situation where I don't have what I need. But it is time to hit the road. We're going drag racing in the VR6. Here we go. we made it, and it's busy. So I got to get the car right through tech really quickly before the lineup gets too big, and it takes hours to get through. So I'm gonna run off to tech. Hopefully we pass. I think we will, and I'll see you back in just a minute. Well, we did it. Passed first try. Super easy. Today's gonna be a good day. Okay, I gotta put the slicks on the car. I didn't come prepared for that. Man, there's cool sounds everywhere. But let's get the slicks on, and we'll go from there. Oh, of course, it's a super hot day. Just called our class, so I'm gonna go ahead, hop in the car. We're all set up to go, and we'll see how the first pass goes. Hoping for better than 15, but it's been a while, so don't count on anything. Well, that didn't go well. I had the same thing happen that happened when I was on the car cruise. So this is the first time it's happened since then. I've been driving it all around town. I thought it was fixed. Of course, I line up to take the first pass, and boom, happens again. So my reaction time was pretty terrible, but it was a 0.719, and quarter mile ended up being 25 seconds, 25.98, because I basically couldn't drive the thing. So let's go ahead and try and figure it out before the next passes come around. Okay, so I think what's going on again here is that we've thrown a code again, and something's just not happy with the ECU. So I really don't have the tools to figure out what it is. So I think the best thing to do, or best course of action, is to try and wipe the ECU. And I didn't bring my OBD2 code reader, so we're in a bit of a pickle. Talked to some of the boys. They told me an old wives trick. That I can actually touch the two terminals together once the battery is disconnected to hopefully release any stored energy, to hopefully reset the ECU. So disconnect the battery, touch positive negative together, hold it together for 10-15 seconds or so, and hopefully that will reset the ECU. So I've done that. I also turned on the headlights with the battery disconnected just to try and drain any stored power whatsoever in the car, and hopefully that's enough, and we'll go ahead and do another run on it next time they call up the subcompacts, and hopefully we'll see a difference. If not, I don't know what to do at this point. I might have to consider calling it a night, but hopefully we don't. This is the same problem that plagued me last time when I tried to go on the cruise. I thought I fixed it. I've driven it countless times between now and then. Never had a problem. Of course, I roll up to the lights and boom, happens again. So, I don't know. Hopefully this works. Well, this is incredibly frustrating just to take the gamble on heading out again, but hopefully this pays off. Gotta wait and see. I got called up. Let's go. Okay, frustration is real. It's happened again for the second time. I'm trying some more things, and I'm not gonna give up today. I can't. So I'm gonna try one more run, fool around with a bunch of stuff. We gotta get to the source of this problem regardless, so even when I get home, I gotta figure out what's doing this. It might have something to do with the math, might have something to do with the ECU. I'm not sure, but I wish I brought my other ECU. See, I come over prepared all the time, and it's the little things that I always forget that gives me the anxiety of coming unprepared. So should have brought the ECU, should have brought my OBD2 code reader. I don't know why I didn't. I was just living on a high, I guess, but we'll see what happens one more time. Alright, we're back home. It's now the next day. Had some sleep on it, and all in all, let's not get it twisted. What happened yesterday was 110% my fault. You know, I got complacent and I just expected too much from some of the factory equipment. If you guys remember back in the episode when we tuned the, or not tuned it, but we hooked up the supercharger for the first time, I ran the ECU that I got with the charger kit secondhand, and the engine ran like absolute marbles. It was running way too rich, it was stumbly, it wouldn't idle. So back then I chose to put it back onto the stock ECU, and I ran with it, and its mannerisms were awesome. You know, it street drove really well, but ultimately these ECUs factory aren't meant to have any kind of boost. Low boost, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds, whatever. The ECU can probably handle that. Anything more than that, it really just upsets the ECU. And driving around on the street, no problem. I mean, I would get into it fairly aggressively on the street, and it would handle it. But obviously when I put it into kind of high boost scenarios, the ECU gets very upset and doesn't cooperate with me. So like what happened on the cruise, you know, I got into it, I was having some fun with it, and it started laying down. And I really think that's because, you know, the ECU saw lean, far too lean numbers, and it just decided it wasn't happy and basically shut down my high RPMs. And you know, driving it between then and yesterday, again, mannerisms on the street, awesome. Whatever I did, I reset the ECU. It was happy again. It ran and drove just fine. And then until I hit the track yesterday, when I loaded up in the water box, I must have, like, obviously I gave it higher boost than it was willing to accept, and it went back into that kind of shutdown mode, and thus the rest of my day carried on that way. So for me to expect that from a factory ECU, you know, totally my bad. And that's exactly how yesterday played out. So I don't have anybody else or anything else to be frustrated on. I'm not even mad at the car anymore. I know it was my fault. I really should have just ran this ECU, or at least brought it with me. That would have been a huge change. So coming out of this, we're going to do some upgrades. There's 6 more races left this season, and we are absolutely going to try and make every single one of them. So what does that mean for this car in the near future? Well, we're going to throw in this ECU. I have some matched injectors, some newer matched injectors. They are previously used slightly, so we're going to do a clean on them. We're going to throw those injectors in. We're going to check out some work on the fuel pressure regulator. We'll run this ECU. We'll try and make this ECU happy in this car, or this car happy with this ECU, to make sure we're getting, you know, not the stumbly idle that was there. And it's not like a tuned stumbly idle. This was an idle that it just wasn't happy, wouldn't stay running, sometimes would shut off. So we're going to figure that out. And we're going to get this car set up the way it should have been, straight out of the box from VF Engineering if I bought this kit yesterday. And that's my goal with this. But I want to say, you know, before we close out this video, huge shout out to Alexi, Greg, Alex, all those guys for really helping me out at the track yesterday and basically calling me a meathead for expecting anything different than exactly the way the day played out running the factory ECU. And they're right, you know. But I guess I was hopeful. Its mannerisms are so good on the street. It drives so good on the street. I can get into boost. It handles it well. And I thought it was just going to play out just the same at the track. But, you know, loading up in the water box, you know, obviously sent, you know, pretty high boost numbers to the ECU, and it just leaned out and shut down on me. And again, totally my fault. But again, huge thanks and shout out to those guys for helping me out on the track. That you saw them in the video a little bit. Also, big thank you to the guys who, you know, everybody who checked in and said hi at the races yesterday. Thank you very much for stopping by and saying something. It was nice to see you guys out at the track. I do want to apologize. I was a little bit frustrated, so if I was short with anybody or I didn't spend the time to, like, really get into the nitty-gritty and talk about the car like you guys probably wanted to hear, I apologize for that. I really just wanted to sort it out. And there were some guys yesterday who definitely lended me some huge hands in trying to sort this thing out, and ultimately, my fault. But thanks again, everybody. Again, thank you very much for my wife and my daughter coming along for the ride, sticking it out. It was a hot day. You know, I was frustrated, which I'm sure kind of fed onto them, but they hung in there, they supported me. You couldn't ask any more of your family. That was an awesome day, and we're going to come back harder than ever next time. So thank you very much. I appreciate you guys for watching. I wish I had a better result, but I promise you the next time we will. Till next time, guys, thanks very much for watching. Take care.